When I accepted Islam, I thought I understood what Ramadan was about. I had read the basics. No food, no water, sunrise to sunset. Pray more, be patient, be grateful. It sounded simple enough on paper. But what no one explains clearly, especially to converts and new Muslims in the USA, is that Ramadan is not just about surviving hunger. It is about learning an entirely new rhythm of life. I remembered the night before my first fast. I stood in my small kitchen in Chicago at 4:45 a.m., staring at a bowl of oatmeal, wondering, is this enough? No one had told me what a proper suhoor looked like. Should I eat heavy, light, drink 3 bottles of water? I nervously checked an app for the prayer times and saw that Fajr was only minutes away. That was the first lesson. Ramadan runs on time, not feelings. When the time for Fajr comes in, that's it. The kitchen closes. The first day felt heroic until about 2 p.m. my coworkers were heating up lunch in the office microwave. The smell of coffee floated through the break room. In America, food is everywhere. Meetings revolve around snacks. Socializing means grabbing drinks. Ramadan in the USA can feel like fasting in the middle of a food commercial. No one explains how mentally exhausting it can be to constantly say, "No thank you, I'm fasting," over and over again. And then there was the thirst. Nobody had warned me that thirst would be harder than hunger. Around 4 p.m., my mouth felt dry, my head slightly heavy. I wondered if I was doing something wrong. What no one clearly tells you is this: your body adjusts. The first few days are the hardest. By the 4th or 5th day, something shifts. Your stomach stops complaining so loudly. Your mind becomes sharper in unexpected ways. It's as if your body realizes, oh, this is what we're doing now. But Ramadan isn't just physical, it is deeply emotional. One night I decided to attend Taraweeh prayer at the local mosque. I had heard people speak about it with love. Taraweeh during Ramadan is special, they said, so I went. The prayer hall was full. Families sat together. Children whispered. Elderly men leaned on canes. And there I was, standing alone in the back row, trying to follow movements I had only recently memorized. The imam began reciting from the Qur'an. The Arabic flowed beautifully, but I didn't understand most of it yet. I felt out of place for a moment. It's another thing no one explains clearly. As a convert, you may feel lonely in Ramadan. Many Muslims grew up with traditions, family iftars, cultural dishes, childhood memories. You might be building everything from scratch. But then, something unexpected happened. During Sujud, my forehead touched the ground. I felt a quiet peace I had never felt before. It wasn't dramatic. There were no fireworks, just stillness. And in that stillness, I understood something important. Ramadan is not about performing perfectly. It's about showing up sincerely. The first time I hosted my own iftar, it was simple. Dates, water, lentil soup, and rice. I had learned that breaking your fast traditionally begins with dates, following the example of our Prophet. That small act made me feel connected to something much bigger than myself, millions of Muslims across the world breaking their fast at the same time. In that moment, I didn't feel alone anymore. There are practical things no one clearly explains either. For example, you will feel tired, very tired, especially in the beginning. Late night prayers plus early suhoor equals less sleep. If you work a 9-to-5 job in the US, managing energy becomes an art. You learn to conserve your words. You scroll less. You prioritize what truly matters. Ramadan quietly teaches discipline without announcing it. Another thing, your emotions might feel closer to the surface. Fasting doesn't just empty your stomach. It reveals what's inside your heart. If you struggle with impatience, you'll notice it more. If you struggle with anger, it will show up. That's not failure. It's the point. Ramadan shines a light on your weaknesses so you can gently work on them. And then there's the beauty of community. Even if you don't have Muslim family, there are masjids, local gatherings, and even online spaces where people share their experiences. In America, converts often form deep bonds during Ramadan because they understand each other's quiet struggles. The shared feeling of being new becomes a bridge instead of a barrier. One of the most powerful nights of my first Ramadan was during the last 10 days. I had learned about Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree. People spoke about it with awe. I didn't know if I would feel anything special, so I simply made dua. I asked for guidance, stability, strength to continue. No thunder rolled. No sign appeared in the sky. But the next morning, I woke up with clarity. I realized Ramadan had already changed me. My relationship with food was healthier. My awareness of Allah was stronger. My empathy for those who struggle with hunger had deepened. And my daily prayers felt less like tasks and more like conversations. That's the secret no one explains clearly. Ramadan is not about becoming a perfect Muslim in 30 days. It is about beginning a lifelong journey with intention. For new Muslims in the USA, Ramadan can feel overwhelming at first. You may worry you're not praying enough, not reading enough, not doing enough. But Ramadan is not a competition. It is personal. Some days you will feel spiritually high. Other days you will count the minutes until sunset. Both are part of the process. You will also learn small, practical wisdom along the way. Drink more water between iftar and suhoor than you think you need. Keep meals balanced, not heavy. Take short naps if possible. Prepare simple foods instead of exhausting yourself trying to create a cultural feast. Focus on consistency over intensity. Most importantly, give yourself mercy. If you accidentally eat because you forgot you were fasting, your fast is still valid. If you struggle to wake up for suhoor one day, try again the next. If you can only read a few verses of the Qur'an, read them with presence. Islam is not meant to break you. It is meant to refine you. By the time Eid arrives, something will feel different. You may not even be able to explain it. But you will look back at that first suhoor, the confusion, the nervousness, the quiet kitchen before dawn, and you will smile. Because you survived. Because you grew. Because you learned that Ramadan is less about hunger and more about awareness. For converts and new Muslims in America, Ramadan is not just a month. It is a teacher. It strips away distractions, forces reflection. It builds resilience in a society that rarely slows down. And in those long afternoons when coffee shops are full and you're holding on to your patience, you realize something powerful. You are stronger than you thought. No one may explain everything clearly before you begin. Perhaps that's part of the beauty. Ramadan unfolds like a story, one day at a time, one prayer at a time, one quiet sujood at a time. And somewhere between the first sip of water at sunset and the last whisper of dua before dawn, you discover that you didn't just complete Ramadan. Ramadan completed something inside you.